Hey, you there, and thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, and we'll end with Team 2 on the southeastern side. Of course, I will note it is Chaos Saturday. Starting off with Team 1's Eastern player, we'll do a clockwise manner. We have in Regal Purple, it is Mythologist. He's playing for a UEF for this match as a 1400. To his southwest, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is Drunk Warden playing as an Aeon. He is a 1300. And rounding out the front line for Team 1, we have in Snow White, it is Draco the Destroyer. He is a 600. To his north, we have in Royal Blue, it is the Seraphim of Moon-coded instead of Earth-coded, I guess, or Planet-coded or whatever. He is a Seraphim. He is a 1200. And Barbie Pink to his north is Quasar playing as a UEF. He is a 1500. In Tropical Ocean Blue to his north, it is Mutzo playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1500. And rounding out Team 1, we have in the best color, of course, it is Forest Green Sunny playing as a Cybern. He is a 1600. He is the highest rated player on Team 1, and he's tied for the highest rated player overall. So the Team 1 side of the map, in terms of faction makeup, they have 2 UEF. They have 1 Cybern, if I did my math right. I think so. 2 Aeon and 2 Seraphim. Yep, that's 7. So all the factions represented on Team 1 side of the map. Taking a look at Team 2. We'll start in the southwest and go clockwise as well. We have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is the Cybern of Kazatel. He is a Cybern. He is an 800 again in Pac-Man Yellow. Next door to him in Orange Color Orange, another Cybern. It is Babel. He is a 1300 in Batman Gray to his northeast. For the front line, we have Eyeblock Mass. He's playing as another Cybern for Team 2. He is a 1400. In Glow in the Dark Green, we have as another Cybern. It is Kavanaugh. He is a 1600. He is Team 2's highest rated player and tied with Team 1's Sunny for the highest rated player overall. In Ruby Red to his southeast, it is another Aeon. Aeon Cybern. It is Deshwolf 216. He's in Ruby Red as a 1500. To his west, breaking the mold for Team 2, already on his way to the middle. It is Fergus 1080. He is a UEF. He is a 1500. And the other player breaking the mold for Team 2, it is Pinkyful, not in pink, but he is in Emerald Green. He is a 900 playing as a UEF. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Aeon. Sorry, I keep saying 2 Aeon. 2 UEF and 5... very bad 5 Cybern with 0 Aeon and 0 Seraphim. So heavily focused on Cybern with a little bit of Perseus technology mixed in for Team 2. Team 1's a little bit more of a rough kind of averaging out of the factions. But all the factions are represented in the game at a bare minimum, so nobody is missing out there. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 15, let's say 16,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it just a little bit shy of 1.1-ish mass per player. The main highlight of the reclaim is going to be in the northeast. We already see Team 1's Mythologist. In the midst of all of that is a heaping amount of, was that 4,000 I think is what I saw? Well, it's a little bit, well, it's about 4,000 now. He's going to get that all scooped up sooner rather than later, trying to deny a couple of engineers trying to build a little bit of an expansion, but looks like they are denied, unfortunately, for Kabanoff. And in terms of the other reclaim locations, there is 1 here and 1 here, and that's pretty much about it. In terms of the standouts, there are 400s and 300s, but the 1,000 plus are definitely where players are going to head off to immediately. In terms of where these players are actually headed off to, we do see, of course, Team 1's Mythologist is over there. Also, we see Sunny moving east. And we do see Team 1's players of Mutzo, Moon-coded, Quasar, and Drunk Warden down the middle here. And then last but not least, Team 1's Draco is on the southwestern side. So definitely a heavy focus in the middle, but there are some players moving on the exterior sides of the map. Taking a look at Team 2's movements, we do see 2 players for Team 2 headed this way. It is Desert Wolf and Kavanaugh, with 1 player moving a little bit more towards the maybe Middle East, Northeast position. that being I blocked mass. Towards the middle of the map, we do see 2-3 players possibly. Pinky Full a little bit behind, but we see Fergus and Babel moving in to the middle with Team 2's player of Kazatil not really moving out of his base yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he heads this way to make it a 1v1. So heavy focus in Team 1 down the middle, and Team 2 is a little bit more spread out. So Team 1 took a more consolidated approach with their movement of comms, but not necessarily their factions. Team 2 took the opposite approach, spreading out their players but consolidating on 2 factions. In the northeast, possible comm engagements are occurring. We do see a drop from Kabanoff, gets in behind Mythologist, deals some damage to Mythologist's comm. Mythologist does get a T1 land facility online. Looks like he's going to actually capture that PD emplacement. Kabanoff's going to be in a rude awakening. There's the PD emplacement captured for Team 1's Mythologist. And Mythologist has lost a lot of hit points. Is he going to try to counter it, or is he going to try to just reclaim? Looks like some booping going on to try to block the comms gun. Gum is going to be able to destroy. Oh, one more shot. Oh, misses just barely. Kabanoff needs to move a little bit to his right. Or I guess he's going to move to his left. Scratch that. And there is the shot on that T1. So it looks like both of them did take a lot of damage from that. They might trade there. I'll kind of keep a track on that for a little bit. Down the middle, maybe some combi-com action happened between Moon-Coated and Babel that I missed. Apologies if it was the first that of the game. I just missed it. And northeast, it's still Kabanoff and Mythologist at 4,400 versus 3,600. So it is going to be a murder-suicide situation if nobody is able to back off. Team 1 PNE emplacement is built for Kabanoff. Mythologist, if he doesn't notice, will be walking into his death. He sees nothing in range for now. Mythologist is being shot at by Team... Oh, there he goes! He dropped Kabanoff down. Actually, yeah, he dropped Kabanoff down to 2,500, and then Control K's making it a murder-suicide in the northeast side of the map. So Team 2's highest-rated player is eliminated. Team 1's Mythologist is eliminated. So it is now a 6v6 game at 7 minutes on the dot. And Mythologist goes question mark. What do you mean question mark? I thought he controlled... Oh, whatever that nonsense was is probably what it was. Southwestern corner, we do see that Team 1's Draco is pushing in, but a lot of forces from Team 2's Kazatel get behind the comm. I don't know if he just walked in and then decided, oh, I shouldn't be walking forward, and keeps turns his back and goes, that's probably not a good idea. We do see Draco is going to get down, probably into the red, but these forces from Kazatel are not pushing, so he might actually be fine. Maybe. Gun, Speeder Man started for I block mass towards the more mid-east section. And we do see Desert Wolf continuing to establish a facility over here in the northeast. We do see Sunny's over there as well. I will note the map does have a decent amount of little river canal thingamajigs. So there's a lot of kind of broken off sections of the map in terms of land, which is a little bit annoying for Team 1's players of both Mutso, not Mutso, but both let's see, that's going to be Drunk Warden and Draco, because their Harbingers will not be able to cross the ponds like all of the other mainline units for Team 1 and Team 2, just because Aeons don't have the ability for their Harbingers to do that. We do see in the middle gun start for Team 2's Fergus. Team 1 started Moon-Coated's upgrades, consisted by Quasar, and then he also has his teammate of Drunk Warden has advanced range and sensor package already online, so snipping and bipping those exterior mexes and facilities for Team 2. Definitely have to watch out for that. As time goes on, Team 2's Pinkyfoot goes for his gun upgrade in the pond, and Desert Wolf is actually in that pond to the northeast, hanging out. A couple of mexes up here to the northeast. Again, the northeastern corner and southwestern corner are pretty much going to be ignored for the most part. Maybe we'll see some bombing raids from like T1, maybe some T2 Corsairs or something, but not really a huge focus on the corners because they really don't amount to a whole lot. 4 mass is 4 mass, but just, this is one of those things where is it really worth it? I will note that Team 2 still has a mex over here. Don't know why it's not captured, but, just hanging out over there. In the middle of the map, we see Quasar hanging out with Drunk Warden. Nano Repair on the way here from Moon-Coated. Gun started for Babel. Gun done for Fergus. And gun 37% of the way there. We do see 50% done for Mutso's gun. And everybody's starting to get their comms nice, well, and protected, either with any sort of sensor package, nano upgrades, or the guns upgrades coming on board. We do see a lot of momentum for Team 1's Draco along the southwestern section, but he does have to be careful. If he sends his comm in again, He might not get back. I think he just walked straight forward, forgot where his comm was going, and then went, oh, shoot, I got to pull it back. So luckily I was able to pull it back, but definitely doesn't want to do that a second time, especially with T2 on the rise. Speaking of T2, 10 minutes on the clock, and Team 1's at 360. Team 2's at 290 for Eco, so 70 mass and about 70 mass in paper for Team 1. But I will note that I think Desert Wolf is having some power out. Oh, he's fixing it now. He was at 120 something, and now that mass income's actually back up to normal. So it's pretty much an even amount for Eco for each team. We do see some mexes have been bombed out of existence from Team 1, and actually that's from Block Mass's comm hanging out over here. Killed off a couple of mexes. He will get some veterancy here, so he'll stay alive a little bit longer, but he's not super deep into enemy territory, but he's definitely inching into the main bases. So he does have to be careful. Again, all of these waterways kind of do prevent land incursions for the most part, but once units can traverse them, either hover or otherwise, that water's not going to save anybody anytime soon. Babel and Fergus pushing in. Babel acting as a little bit bullet sponge to compensate for Fergus's lack of hit points. And we have advanced range, drunk warning coming in with a sensor package. This is what Team 1 can see. They have a huge section of the middle at their disposal in terms of vision. Quasar doesn't have gun on board, so kind of not really able to fight back against Team 2's commanders, but is there to maybe tank a couple of shots and maybe distract at least 1 or 2 shots per second or per engagement or whatever from Team 2's commanders. But moon-coated, again, he does have nano, so he's able to push in a little bit more. We do see some PD coming online. Bombers going after engineers to prevent said construction of said PD. But it looks like it's not really going well. We do see Team 1's Drunk Warden. While his comm's over here, he's pushing in over here and trying to isolate any sort of opportunities for Team 2 to counterattack. We do see some units coming in from the east from Moon-Coated's commander. He's dropping hit points. He will get to probably 1-star veterancy here. Maybe he'll survive. Maybe not. He needs, I think, 2 more kills. There's the kill. He's back up in to 2,600. He's dropping hit points pretty quickly. Oh, 200, 300 in. He doesn't get that second veterancy in time, and there he goes. He actually control Ks, but that's definitely a kill for one of those 2 orange players for Team 2. I mean, he would have destroyed those units anyways regardless, but I mean, I feel like you just give the kill to somebody at that point. I mean, you dropped, the 200-300 hit points at that point. There's no getting out of that for the most part. Very rarely do players at 200, 300, 100 hit points survive an encounter like that. But gunships are inbound from Team 1's Quasar to go after the comms of Babel, but interceptors are nearby. These Stingers are very weak, only 700 hit points on board, and interceptors can chew them up quite quickly. And both the commanders, again, you need to get a little bit lower because your heads are actually your full torso sticking up out of the water, so still able to be targeted by all of the everything. Stealth started for Team 1 Sunny in the north. We have Eyeblock Mass going for his stealth upgrade. Team 1 Smutso, I mean, they know where he is. They can literally see him. His comms, no spikiness on his shoulder blades or whatever, barely underneath the surface, and Team 1 is probably getting some torp bombers maybe to flush him out. We'll see. If Team 1 had T3 land online, they could send some bricks inbound, but they don't have it as of yet. T3 air is online for Team 1. Looks like only 1, maybe 2 air players. Oh, look at, maybe 3 actually for Draco, coincidentally enough, and we do see some torp bombers are being built by Team 1. T3 air online for Team 2's Desert Wolf, and that is it. So only 1 player with air, which probably need to up that to maybe 2, because if either of those players for Team 1 that don't have T3 go for T3, that will slowly tip the tides in the air game. We do see counterattack in the southeast for Team 2's Kazatel against Draco. And Eyeblock Mass is still here. He's closing in on 75%. We do see a couple of Anathas hanging out above that position. And Eyeblock Mass just went full send it for this kind of, I don't even know what you would call this little position on the map, squiggle thing. Looks kind of like almost like a gear or like a face, because these are the eyes, this is the nose, and this is the mouth for the water. So I don't know. The chin, I guess? I don't know. I'm just thinking of the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents now. Team 1's player of Draco trying to get some PD online to deal with this incursion. It's not a lot of T2, so he honestly should be fine. I say that, and he'll probably die in that base. I'm trying to keep my eyes out on the minimap for that. Team 2's Eyeblock Mass still raiding those units against Sunny, and Sunny has to do double duty engaging here and here. It is splitting his focus up, and that means that Team 2 might win that northeastern counter, but it looks like Draco's base will fall to Mantis from Team 2. We do see some Obsidians mixed in there, but honestly, his T2 land headquarters is going to go down. That's not going to be fun for him long term. He still has T2 air that might force him to go to T3. He's producing some Spectres now, but I don't think that's going to be enough. We do see Black Mass back in the yellow. He's almost at 3-star vet. And really probably should focus on that pillar, which he just shot at. And it looks like he's going to get out of there. Team 1 was building some Torp bombers. I don't know where they went, but I guess they were maybe used. Second T2. Oh, yes, UEF and Seraphim. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, he got some T3 Seraphim technology. Interesting. He's UEF player. Huh. Anyway, Team 1 northeastern corner. I guess that's Moon Coded's base originally, actually. Now that I think about it. Sunny's still engaged in the other green forces from Team 2, and we have Pinky Full inbound with his gun upgrade. It's gun stealth versus gun. Hit points do favor Team 1 Cybran, but again, it's one of those things where it is close enough to where it could be a murder-suicide. He does get another rank in bet. Now he's at 2,400. That might, emphasis on might, be enough to save him. You see in the middle of the map, Team 1 and Team 2's commanders now leaving, just in case of any sort of snipes happen. We also see that Babel's actually heading more southwest to secure that more hilly area towards the southwest. We do see some mexes being highlighted by... Who is that? Is that Moon Coded? That might be Moon Coded's highlights right there. Don't know what that's about, but... Anyway, northeastern corner. Looks like the Mex has actually been claimed from Team 1, and T2 is now online on said Mex. Pinkyful really trying to engage that commander from the western side of that lineup. He's losing a lot of forces. He has to be careful, because if he engages right now with his forces in retreat, he might just die here. It is it's a 6v5 in favor for Team 2, but that doesn't mean that you want to throw your comm away earlier than you really want to, or need to, or have to. We do see Desert Wolf. I have seen this little bit of trend of doing kind of diagonal base structures instead of the traditional box. They go for kind of a diamond shape, which, does help with the cascading a little bit. Not a lot, but it does help. 2 ACUs on me, says Sunny, and I don't see the other ones, so I don't know if he's talking about Desert Wolf and Pinky Full maybe, but I mean, Desert Wolf focusing on air production. Now he has not a lot of ASFs flying around, but he has some. We do see Team 2's Block Mass is still trying to just block all of these mexes for Team 1. He's now at 3-star vet. Team 1, surprisingly enough, hasn't really thrown a lot more at this comm. I mean, again, he's not necessarily at the front door, but he's in the front yard at least of 2 bases for Team 1. And that's Sunny, and that's probably because he's so focused over here with his commander and whatnot. He's not necessarily ignoring, but he's not sending as much after him. Mutso's like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. He has gun on board. Block Mass has gun stealth, so it's 55,599 versus 11,500. So honestly, in terms of a shootout, Team 2 is going to win that fight, or Block Mass on Team 2 is going to win that fight. Shield starter for Drunk Warden in the middle. He has... Aeon Intelligence mini tank comm, because he's not full tank, because he doesn't have the heavy shield, but he doesn't have the speed upgrade on board to be Aeon Sniper, so he's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple of different presets. Oh, I was gonna say, please tell me that TML is going right for that comm, but he wasn't. Comm going for the stealth upgrade now. Probably gonna go for Nano after that for Babel. We do see Nano's actually on board for Fergus. He's at 1-star vet. And northeastern corner's kind of dying down in terms of the action. Team 1's Draco has returned to his base. Same with Quasar. Team 1's Munso is in Team 1's main territory, but not at his main base. And then Drunk Warden is on the front lines, but in the water, going for an upgrade. So he's there, but he's not there. The only player really away from home is Sunny over here to the northeast, which I'm kind of surprised Team 2 hasn't gone after him yet, but maybe, again, they would give another base, most likely to Mutso, and they probably don't want to give 3 bases over to somebody. Actually, he's only on 1 base, I think. No, he could get Mutso, but maybe he would go to Quasar, maybe. Anyway, Middle of the map, couple of sniper bots inbound from Quasar, speaking of which. We do see some bricks starting to roam the map again. Lots of bricks, lots of loyalists, lots of, well, some Percies for Team 2. Of course, it's mainly going to be bricks. T2 air online for Pinky Full. Still only that one T3 air headquarters. I just feel like that's a missed opportunity. I do like Desert Wolf's position, though, with his comm. He's on the edge of the map in a pond. And that's just, you're not really, I mean, you're kind of noticing it, but I'm semi-forgetting that he's there half the time because I'm zooming in and out, whatnot. But I guess if you're Team 1 looking at Team 2's, you'll probably see him if, you know, you have radar or something over top. This is what Team 2's intelligence looks like for Team 1 in terms of what they know about. They are sending some spy planes out. They didn't go far enough, so they might not know everything. And then Team 2 definitely needs more scouting up here for sure, but everything else is, you know, perfectly fine. We're not at 30 minutes yet, where it's very, very important to keep the scouting game going, but, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes in probably would be a good idea to just, you know, scout every couple of minutes just to get an idea, but not be completely focused on it. Because really, when it gets to 30, you're like, okay, I need to know what they're doing constantly, because nukes, artillery, game enders are going to start being prevalent at that. At least the start of them is going to be prevalent at that point, roughly. Drunk Warner just taking some damage from some jesters from Team 2's Babel. He's dropped 8,000 hit points now, and he's losing hit points consistently. Not a lot of conversation in chat. There are some people from ANZ in the game, so maybe it's just on comms, like a Discord chat or something, or Discord call, but probably would explain why there's not a lot of communication between them. We do see a couple of Janus. They took out the gunships, and now Janus are just going to blanket the ground with a bunch of napalm. There's a couple of flak units nearby. TML's underneath that shielding. Probably want to keep that alive. Yeah, it's dead. Not to cast a curse to anybody there, but that wasn't great. But it was only one TML, so it wasn't the end of the world. It's still annoying. Not the end of the world, though. And speaking of TMLs, we haven't seen a lot of action in the TML department for Team 2's UEF comms. We have Fergus over here, and then the other player is going to be Pinkyful, who's over here. Team 1, we have Mutzo, who has no missile on board, and then that's going to be Quasar, which is in his main base, and no upgrades on board for him. So realistically, not a high probability of Billy nukes. Maybe we'll see something, but probably not. Sonny's now falling back, going after this frontline base for I-Block Mass. He's raining in some missiles over top of that little mountainside there. Looks like he's going after the... Oh, it hit something in the air. Looks like it hit that ASF, actually. Ooh, or hit something. Because it definitely made contact with something in the air. That's impressive that it actually hit it. Unfortunate, because it would have probably killed off that mech, to be honest with you. So that's a little unfortunate, but, you know, it does happen from time to time. The unlucky or sometimes lucky things do happen, of course. Was that a missile aimed in at the comm of Sunny? That looked like that was a missile aimed at the comm. You see a couple of bricks here from I-Block Mass. They're really trying to shove Sunny away. Sunny does have some firepower. He's almost that 5-star vet. He might try to stay to get his, you know, 5th star pinned to his leg, but or chest plate, depending on when he where he pins them. If I can talk, it can be like Sam from Dead Stranding, and you can put it on the leg, which I think is an interesting place to put it. A couple of Team 1 bombers over top of these Autumns. They took out the frontline mexes here, which I didn't even speak about mexes on the map, but I guess it's too late now. And maybe they'll get one more T2 mex, maybe. But comms there, no, they're not. They're not going to get anything more. 22 minutes on the clock. Team 2 at 6 players left, only lost Kabanoff. Team 1 has lost Mythologist and Mooncode. Mythologist and Kabanoff were killed off in that early comm murder-suicide explosion caused by Mythologist. Kabanoff was about to get away. He was over here. He was dipping behind the little hillside here, and he would have gone away with it if it wasn't for that AoE explosion from that comm. Advanced now started from Mutzo. Advanced range started for Draco, which is nice, partially considering the fact that Team 2's Kazatel is pushing in on said western side. Shield is down. Nice, smart move there. He gets his units underneath the shielding and targets the shielding and then everything else, because at a bare minimum, his units aren't doing damage to the, was that 8,000? 11,000 shield, so they will do a little bit more damage to whatever's there. He won't win that engagement, but he has weakened it at a bare minimum. Couple of PD are offline. Maybe he can send in some T3 forces here soon. T3 land is not done yet, so never mind. We do see advance down is still going on kind of slowly, but it's still going. Missile, where's it going? Northeast corner, looks like just targeting whatever mexes are in range. Team 1 has some Team D now online, so that's not really going to work. Sunny taking some damage from the torpedoes from the bricks, and the comm is able to barely hit that brick and wipe one out. So a little bit more veterancy now at 5 stars. So he gets his 50% additional hit points and some regen, and probably is thinking, yeah, that's probably it. I will note, though, in terms of map control, Team 2 almost owns the entire southeastern corner. Honestly, actually, if you want to take it a little bit further than that, if you split the map down the prime meridian right here, bar this little section of the map, Team 2 owns the entire eastern side, and if you want to cut it down the equator-wise, Team 2 almost owns the entire southern side. So it's not looking good for map control for Team 1, and that is reflected by the eco at 1.3 to 1.1. We do see a chicken all along the front lines moving in. Not a lot of stuff here. We do see a couple of PD and a couple more Ravagers now being built, but that chicken's definitely going to be something that Team 2 has to contend with there. Aren't aware of it. Speaking of aren't aware of it, Babble's not aware of it, and he's being hit by some Harbingers. Looks like the chicken probably will just ignore him, which is probably smart. Go after the infrastructure first and then go after everybody else, especially in a partial share or full share game. Depending on the person, but for the most part, it's better to go after the infrastructure than the comm. Again, depending on the situation as well. SMD built for Desert Wolf, speaking of which, 25 minutes. And Team 2 is definitely aware of the chicken, and Babble's like, get me out of here. And looks like some shielding's going to help protect that the chicken a little bit longer. Not a lot of Percy's on Team 2 side of the map, which is not great for trying to kill off those very, very annoying chickens and whatnot. Babble just baking in the flames from those Janus. Janus do not make a second run, but they do drop the comm. Not in the red, but close to the red. And Harbinger's moving in. The chicken's going to do a lot of the damage here and just really rake in that veterancy, almost that 1 star for it. Team 2's upper plateau position not looking too great. We do see Draco with the Aeon Sniper Commander, but again, he's on his own, and if Team 2 decides to snipe him, he's going to have a long walk home. He does have some ponds to try to hide in, but it might be too late at that point. I am surprised Team 2 hasn't tried to take in the northeast or southwestern corners. There is just passive intelligence gathering for Team 1 in those corners, because why not? But probably worth it. They are T2 mexes now, and looks like they're getting ringed partially, so that's 12, 24 mass at a bare minimum they could deny for Quasar. We do see, again, Quasar's chicken hanging out. Fergus has gun nano. If he pops out, probably not be the best idea. We have seen players do that. It's just unfortunate. He would be better off to go this way and then hook in, or he could wait for the chicken to pass by and then try to pop out and snipe him that way, or at least get some overcharging in and then be like, okay, I'm going to go buy my water. See you, bye. And that chicken's continuing to just push. It's at 1 star veterancy. We do see some bombers from 2 players from Team 2 engaging. And he sees the Monkey Lord being built and denies it for Desert Wolf. That is unfortunate. And looks like he's going after interceptors for whatever reason. It looks like the chicken is now past. No, not yet. That gun can swing this way a little bit, but if he faces that way, this is a perfect engagement point. Fergus pops out, overcharges once, goes back, recharges, pops back out, fires again. It could really bring that chicken down very quickly, but he's not doing that just yet. He's actually moving. Oh, no. Oh, he's moving in the path of the. Oh, overcharges, takes out a chunk of hit points. Again, you have to get in behind the gun. Oh. Yep, gun's not able to turn all the way back. It looks like the chicken goes, oh, what was that? And goes this way now, and Team 2's now being denied their air by Team 1's ASFs, and the chicken is defeated. And Fergus is now like, nope, get me out of there. But the overcharge did help. But the only problem with the chicken continuing to move is, yeah, there's mexes here, but there's really not a lot of important, high security investments here and here. This would be the closest one, and that's still a little bit of a walk away. So pushing in wouldn't have really been that beneficial. Maybe one more mex, but It's diminishing returns in that push. 27 minutes on the clock. Team 1 again still at 5, and Team 2 still at 6. So nobody's died after the death of Moon Coated. In terms of Eco, still in the lead by about 150 to 200. That could easily change with a nuke, artillery game ender surprise from somebody. And every time I see the T3 Seraphim, oh, there is a nuke launcher right there. But every time I see the P-Gen being built for the Seraphim, I always think YOLO because it has a similar kind of profile. But UEF doing UEF things. Corey's are building a satellite because why not? And Chicken also being started by him once again. GC started for Draco on the western side. It looks like Monkey Lord started for Sunny towards the east. It looks like Team 1's invading once again in this little fire base, and I-block mass is not going to no longer be able to block that mass there for Team 1, and that'll be the end of that. Looks like northeastern corner, a couple of Percys wipe out all of the stuff up here. Looks like it's just Team 1 units running around, so as long as the engineers are all killed off, they can't rebuild anything. They could send in some Titans, which would probably actually be better off to finish off that corner. And then Team 2 also wiped out this corner, so they're kind of cleaning house on those edges. Same Fat Boy online for Team 2. It's been handed over to Babel. Any surprises for Team 1 on Team 2 side of the map? Quantum Gateway for either Ras spam or the not Ras Boy. Well, Ras Boy spam, but also the Rambo spam. Took me a second. I was like, I know it's on the tip of my tongue if I just pause. Looks like Team 1's Moon Kona talking about the Fat Boy. And realistically, there isn't nothing here from Team 1 to stop it. There's no T2 stationary artillery. You know, those... oh, shoot. Now I'm losing all the words for them. What are they... Oh, come on. I know what they're called. The emissaries are the bigger brothers of the... Oh, and they leave behind that, like... Oh, it's going to bug me. Somebody in the comments has probably already talked about it by now. Sorry, accidental off-map spy plane, says Mutzo. I mean, it does happen depending on how you just... You might say, hey, go here, and your unit's here, and it might, curve and go that way. Oh, look, that kind of the thing he probably sent to, hey, go that way, and by the time he realized it already off-mapped. And stuff happens like that from time to time on accident. It can happen on purpose, but the update has changed so that any wrecks that do happen off map do get put somewhat near that edge where they happen. So the reclaim is still there, but units can still go off the map. Anyway, T2 miasma. Haha, there it is. Haha, take me a second, but I got it. I appreciate everybody in the description who made the comment about what it was, but I got there eventually, so I appreciate it. 30 minutes on the clock. And still about 150 to 200 mass in favor for Team 2. That number will probably drop due to the satellite now inbound. And nobody has died after the 3 deaths in the game before 30 minutes. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. Western side, Fat Boy still... just kind of sniping or just going after all the snipping and the pipping and the whatnot on the front lines. Scath is pointed out by Team 1's Moon Coated. Barely started building. Okay, thank you for building more shields. Desert Wolf built more shielding. He's also building them because of the satellite up ahead. But there's a lot of vulnerable mexes. Those are Team... Okay, I thought those were Team 1 E storages. I was like, oh, that's not going to be fun, but... Looks like he's building some more mass fabs to even eke out a little bit more of that power. Shield is maybe going to be denied. The P-Gen was reclaimed before explosions happened, so that's nice micro there. And that laser will probably be occupied by either the air grid or the mexes here shortly. The mexes are being solely protected by all of that shielding. Airfight may happen in the middle. Team 2 pulling back Fat Boys due to the GC now repairing. Percy being magnetically or vacuum grabbed. I think it's maybe magnetically or however technology grab nonsense. Quantum. It's quantum grab. There we go. That's probably a better way to put it. By that GC. Fat Boy really wants underneath that shield. Ooh, just moving a couple of inches to your left, a couple meters to your left. All right. Ooh, the GC stopped moving. Oh, it's barely alive at 1,000 hit points. That veteran CC. Oh, it's dead. Apologies for the caster curse there, of course, but it was close. It was close. The PD just tickling that GC to death. It's like Tasha's vicious. That's not vicious mockery. What's the is it hideous laughter? Whatever it is from D&D/Baldur's Gate. I think it's hideous. I think it's something hideous laughter. But explosion to the north. Team 1's Mutz was defeated by iBlock's Mass GC, a GC Megalith. I can't name things today for some reason. He's killed off. That's unfortunate. Team 1 loses another player. It's now 4v6 in favor for Team 2, and now another base belongs to Sunny. Team 1 was able to finish the nuke, and the loading is almost done as well, which means it would have launched probably roughly with Mutzo's death if he had maybe a couple more moments to live. Don't know why he was out in the open like that, but maybe he tried to overcharge. No, it didn't even do damage to the Megalith. I have no idea what he was doing. Satellite trying to pick off some nexus for Team 2. Scathis is still underway, needs more shielding, especially on the southwestern side. Definitely one here and one here. He's building more shielding to protect those mexes, though. It's I mean, they're both important, but mexes for sure. And western side, we do see more poking and prodding from Kazatel. Has lots of loyalists, not a lot of bricks, but I do like all the loyalists for their TML not distribution, but reflection. And speaking of loyalists, if you're watching this the day of the release of this video, you still have some time to add your vote to the poll on the channel of what you name, what the loyalist group to be. It currently is winning, like Legion is winning by a decent amount. I think it's double or almost, it's not triple, but it's at least double the percentage of, it's not glitch. Is it glitch? Oh, it's mob. I think it's mob is the other choice that's in the lead. But go ahead and do that if you haven't done so already. Come back, finish the video, and tomorrow's video will definitely be the video that tells you what the official name is going to be. I do think it's going to be Legion, but wouldn't be surprised if it changes last minute. Who knows? Crazy things have happened. Mechs will probably be taken out. The shield probably won't be built in time to protect it. And this mech is gone, so it's wiped out. One mech has done some work. Shield is going to be built pretty quickly, though. No. Oh, look at that. The mech is protected. The caster was proved wrong. And now we see Desert Wolf upgrading some of the shields. Upgraded that one at least to cover the entirety of the Scathis. Smart move there. Nuke is online for Team 2 as well, and that's almost loaded and going to fire immediately at the frontline base for Sunny. There is the nuke, of course, now loaded. It's almost half loaded for a second one as well for Sunny. So that's not going to be fun for Team 1 if the nuke lands, which it probably will, because I don't see an SMD nearby for anybody. Closest one is that one, but it's nowhere in range. There's no way that's in range. Oh, absolutely not. Got to watch out for that little bit of curving that the nuke does, but it should clear that, no problem. And I do hear a chicken firing at something western side. Chicken comes to the aid of Draco on that western side. Fatboy also there to assist. More loyalists being thrown at the pyre of the chicken. That will not be enough to stop the chicken. Here comes the nuke. The nuke will land. Fatboy go a little bit to the east. He'll be out of range. SMD was barely built, but no. Kaboom! Wipes out 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, only 3 mexes, but that frontline base is actually, yeah, it's only 3. That mex was saved barely, but that does wipe out some eco for Team 1. It's still about that 150, maybe 200 spread in favor for Team 2. Northeastern side, more units inbound from Desert Wolf. Engage Sunnies. Megalith needs to turn around to deal with the remaining bricks, but it's just a brick-on-brick engagement. It's like 2 wall sections just being thrown at one another. Like 2 force users just throwing a section of a wall at one another in Star Wars or something, just chucking rocks or whatever at each other. Kind of almost like the Senate scene from Revenge of the Sith. Mex was eliminated and then rebuilt, and that Mex will soon be eliminated as well. Scathis not even in the yellow yet. It's going to be a while before that's done. And how much mass that Nuke kill? 44,000. That is respectable. It's at least 30, which I love to see at a bare minimum. A nice average there so far. It is 1, so it's 1 of 1, and 1 has landed. Nuke still hasn't launched. Second one about to be loaded. Artillery started for Quasar. Depends how you pronounce the O, I guess. He has his spotting satellite for his artillery piece. I think that's one of the best things to use with the satellite is just being a spotter for artillery. But it also, you can use an eye. You can use the satellite for killing off mexes and stuff and power. Nuke is going to go after the front line, which I don't know if that's really important. You could go after stuff down here. There's an SMD over there, so maybe not going after main base stuff. Fat Boy is slow, but it should be out of range. No, just get barely edged by that nuke. Kaboom! For Team 1's Quasar. And how much mass did... Actually, no, that's Sunny's nuke. How much mass did that kill? 30,000. But hey, it's already reloaded for another one, so they have another shot at the front line. I hear strats, or at least I thought I heard strats somewhere. Where... Oh, yeah, up here to the north. A couple of strats hanging out. Going after a Percy. Nope, that's a brick. That wiped out a radar. No, that's a TMD and a mix up there. A little bit more mass assassinations going down for Team 2. Scathis now in the yellow. It's over 33% done. 37 minutes on the clock. It looks like Satellite's targeting this position for Fergus. Probably should target that nuke. Looks like artillery has also been started nearby, which I don't agree putting two big ticket items literally right next to one another pretty much. Bar a pigeon in the middle of them. But, you know, it does consolidate on some resources for shields and pigeons and the whatnot. So there is a disadvantage for that. And it looks like a Megalith wreck ends up killing off a Monkey Lord. They were engaging one another. Megalith took enough damage that it was killed by the monkey. The monkey took enough damage to where the wreck from the crash damage killed the Monkey Lord wreck. So we don't really see a wreck killing off another experimental, but it is nice to see. That is a hefty amount of mass up there in that pond. Currently sitting on the map, 148,032 of it is just from that monkey and crab. And then east of that, tons of bricks. No experimentals in that mix. All bricks and other units. Tons and tons of reclaim. We do see a Megalith and a Fat Boy going after another Megalith. And Team 1 has a donut inbound. Kind of makes me hungry for donuts. Every time I see one. I don't call them Zars anymore. It's just donuts. I mean, technically they are named Zars, but they're donuts. They look like donuts. The icon is literally a donut now with sprinkles on it. You kind of have to call it a donut. You don't have to, but it's very difficult not to call it a donut. Another nuke inbound from Team 1. Is it going to the front line again? Oh, that's a little... Ooh, it might get... It might be enough to clear that SMD. Our block mass might be saved by that SMD. That's edge nuking as I've ever seen edge nuking. We do see SMD up here. Isn't loaded, but is built. Looks like it was spotted by the satellite. The comm of... Oh, I block mass. It's going to be close. He got edge nuked. Oh, it's not enough time to move. Not enough time to move. There he goes. Kaboom! Nice snipe by Sunny. Edge nukes Team 2's I block mass. And it's now a 4v5 in Team 2's favor still, but they brought it down from a 3-2 advantage to just 5v4. Artillery inbound from Team 1 targeting SMDs, I guess. Yeah, the shield is down there. Maybe Deswolf having... Oh, power outage. Ooh, but the Scathos is almost done. He's like, just build it. Just build it. Go, 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 go. The satellite's busy. Targeting other things. Artillery is inbound, though. It's going for the power grid and air grid. Ooh, barely misses. Gotta finish that thing. Gotta finish it. What is your power situation? Oh, it's like on, off, on, off, on. It's like go, 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 go. Finish that Scathos so we can put all that power and whatnot into other things. I'd say 95, 96% in climbing. It is going to finish. One artillery is not going to stop it. Ooh, looks like the artillery was abandoned in favor of the Scathos, and the Scathos is done first. Game render not only makes an appearance, but is completed. Artillery is done, and it looks like another shielding to protect stuff there. Team 1, I don't think they have a plan. Oh, they have an artillery piece there. That started for Sunny, but I don't really... what is it? What are you targeting? Are you targeting? Oh. Oh, that's that's 34 T3 strat bombers. That's almost 3 squadrons. And Scathos fire actually will damage a couple of strat bombers there. That's looks like one of them died. That's a little unfortunate, but 1 out of 34 is better than 17 out of 34. It looks like Scathis shots its inbound for the air grid / nuke to the northwest. Strats are going to appear. Looks like they're going to go this way and this way. Not all that AIC over here. A couple of strats for Team 2 as well. Team 2 is covering the western approach, but not necessarily the northern approach. They should spot it, or should be. Oh, yeah, it's mixed in with the air forces, so they're trying to hide it or obfuscate it. There is some AA here that they'll fly over. But it looks like 1 or 2 of those strats does get hit. So a little bit less firepower there for Team 1's Sunny. And this might be enough to save Team 1 from the Scathis barrage. Oh, barrage is. Strats. They went out in front. Ooh, there's 31 of them now. Now, do they split some of their damage? And Team 2 loses Kazatel. Looks like he controlled Cade. Maybe had a connection issue, most likely. Here comes the strat bombing. Shielding is decent. Oh, that's just annihilated. No reclaim for Team 2. And all of those eggs in one basket. Oh, that's a little rough. Team 2 loses Kazatel to a control K. It is one of those not shadow ones, but those ghost ones, because the 0 near his mass income. Because even if you are in the game with nothing else but your comm, you're still producing 1 mass a second. And western side not looking good for Team 2. And with the Scathis dead, it's going to be immediately restarted. So props to Team 2. But they did kill off a huge chunk of the air grid. T3 air quarters is still fine. The nuke is dead, and the artillery they were building is dead. 1 artillery and satellite still alive. But honestly, that's a bad situation for Team 2 to be in. Because bar a couple of other locations, which of course Desert Wolf's losing power, and that artillery is going to land right on top of that nuke almost. Your last SMD says Sunny, or who was that? Was that Sunny, or was that? No, that was iBlock Mass. The satellite goes down. Sorry, satellite plus the artillery helps kill off that SMD. There is still one there, but the nuke threat is eliminated at a bare minimum, so SMDs aren't as important. But there could be another nuke launcher somewhere. Donut is down over here. No idea what happened to that. It's probably. Oh yeah, it's definitely Team 1's, because Team 2 does not have Aeon tech. And I mean, yeah, the Scathis is dead, but Team 1 doesn't have much to their name. No anti, says Quasar. It doesn't matter. There is still that one there. The nuke is probably going to blow up here shortly. Team 2's Desert Wolf just doesn't have the power to run everything. He needs to maybe back off of building the Scathis. He's going to lose the nuke in all of these P-gens, but he might. Oh, and the artillery will just cement that anyway, so forget what I just said. Team 2 is making an assault on the land, though. Both of the orange players, Babel and Fergus, are pushing in. Team 1 has a couple of defending units as well, but there is a nuke started, and it's going to mass spam loading. That's a lot of focus on that nuke launcher. Team 2, again, still has an SMD here and has an SMD here. Desert Wolf's SMDs are down, except the one in the north, but not the ones for Fergus, and that's why you have backups upon backups upon backups upon backups upon another backup that's being built and being loaded. Team 2, they are a little bit weaker to nukes on the northern side, so they can get edge nuked essentially maybe right along. That is the wrong player to look at. So right along here, but it shouldn't be too bad, especially with the position of the nuke. It might clip the air grid, but that should be about it that Team 1 can target for now. Satellite, of course, still going after the SMD for Fergus. That's going to be his strategy, go after the SMDs. And then go after that. Looks like he's prepping an artillery piece or maybe power grid or just something. And Team 2's, how's your Scathis going? He's almost in the yellow with it again, so he might build 2 Scathi this game. And unfortunately, Scathis 3.0 says Drunk Warden. Technically, it's 2.0. Okay, I will target it 2, says Sunny. Target it with what? I don't see any strats. I don't see any artillery. Well, I can just throw that right back in my face, or be thrown that back in my face, because artillery is done. No P-gens around it to increase its fire rate, but hey, at least it's something. And Team 2, again, they have shielding to block 2 artillery constantly, and a satellite, but they definitely just need to bump out protection a little bit, especially with the almost 3 dozen strats that came and said hi and then said bye. And Corsairs are inbound to the 3,000 hit point GC. Keep doing that. The megalith. I keep thinking that they're just big, giant, one-eyed monsters walking around for some reason. Western side, not a whole lot going over there, but there's something being produced out of that facility. The main action is happening right here. Looks like Team 2 is trying to shift focus a little bit more towards this eastern direction. And I still note that Pinkyful is up here in the northeastern corner, hanging out, just building fat boys, just putting some pressure down this way. And again, it's directing Sunny's attention this way. It's putting, obviously, his attention this way with the artillery and the inbound land units. The two Fat Boys are able to target that megalith, so he has to keep pulling that back. And it's just a lot of, poking and prodding, trying to take much of the APM away. Scathis is now almost 50% once again. Looks like more E-storages for Desert Wolf. Highly explosive, highly volatile, so definitely get some shields or more shields around that. SMD in the midst of a bunch of P-gens. Not the best place to put it, to be honest, but he just needs to get that thing loaded ASAP just in case. A couple more SMDs for Team 2 fall offline. Love the backup from Team 2's Desert Wolf, though. Again, it's better than nothing. It's very, hey, come attack me thing, but it is something. And as I always say, something is always better than nothing. And looks like one fatty's having some trouble targeting that megalith, and megalith having some trouble targeting the fatty because of the little mountain there. We do see some restorers inbound. Air to ground, not good, but hey, it's something. It'll help take off some hit points. They are going to target the Cougars first. And units not being built on the back of the Fat Boys, definitely a little bit disappointing, but not everybody can think of a little bit of all of the nonsense. And GC is being you are reclaiming a GC with a Rambo Preset Commander. What is that? That's the megalith just went down in a little valley and went, oh, I probably should not have done that. Airfight is provoked by Team 2's Desert Wolf. There is a decent amount of AA and the Restorers nearby. Desert Wolf will lose that fight. Looks like he was going for the Restorers and didn't pull off in time, and there went all of his ASFs. He's betting on that Scathis. It's already in the green again. 37 minutes almost on the clock. Team 1 has, again, the one artillery piece right there. The where'd it go? Second artillery piece there. A nuke here. A third artillery piece has been started, and a satellite. So they have two artillery, one satellite, a nuke, and a partridge in the pear tree. Support shield says I blocked mass, and he does have some SACU assistance from Pinkyful that also helps with some, relieving a little bit of the mass and energy requirements for the shielding, at least on this western side. And again, more shielding is better than no shielding, and that will help at least cover a little bit. Hey, look, I can see into it better. Yay, look at that. That's why another reason I like the UEF and the Seraphim shielding, and it's very easy to see through. The Aeons are probably the hardest, and then the second hardest are the heavily blue tinted, maybe like purple tinted ones for the Cybern faction. Second artillery has started. Nuke is outbound from Team 1. There it is. It's going to the front line. It's going for those fatties again. I think it actually might grab at least that one. And Team 2 moves them immediately. And I don't think that... Yeah, it's not going that far. So actually, he might grab both of them. Yeah, he might actually... yeah, he's going to grab both of them. Look at this. Nuke going to headshot that Fat Boy. Boom! Both Fat Boys are down. There's 4 more on the case, though, for Team 2, but they're not on the front lines. So the first Scathis, first set of second Scathis barrages inbound. Nuke has killed off 50,000 mass. Done very well for itself so far. Artillery, are you piercing the shieldings? Not so much. And at this point, 48 minutes on the clock, unless Team 1 has another ace up their sleeve with those strats. I just don't think he's making strats against his I block mass. He is doing that. He's getting a lot of shielding online. And again, a lot of shielding does deter a whole lot of stuff from this game. Oh, that's a lot of engineering power killed off by that Scathis shot. Oof. Drunk Warden says SMD. So Team 1's trying to, again, poke. I'd be like, hey, there's an SMD there. Hey, there's an SMD there. That one's almost reloaded, so that one's going to cover the northern side of Desert Wolf's main sections. That SMD, of course, covers his backline just in case. No telemasers from Team 2, considering the 5 Cyberns on Team 2. No telemasers, which is Very interesting. Desert Wolf's not going to do that. If anybody was going to do that, it would be Babel. That'd be Babel, I think, out of the... Well, hold on. There's another... Where is he? Kazatel's not... I keep thinking he's there. But it's a 4v4 game. That's why I don't like those ghost control Ks. Because it confuses me with the naming and the whatnot because of the no graying out. Second artillery almost in the green for Sunny. Second artillery 50% done for Quasar. I don't know. The land might be neglected too much for Team 1 to handle. They're putting so much emphasis on dealing with this Scathus and everything else in Team 2. But, you have 2 Fat Boys up here. You have, a couple of Fat Boys down here as well. Megalith being hit by a couple of Fat Boys from Team 1's Quasar. He has another chicken online for base defense, going for another one. Going for a lot of T2 artillery. He's really trying to hunker down, but eventually the land will overwhelm the defenses. It's just how it goes. The defenses are a nice deterrent, but unless you have a lot of units with some defenses, it's not really going to matter. Shielding is starting to buckle, and it's not targeting the artillery. It's targeting the air grid with all of the P-gens, which will then in turn, force Team 1 to not have any power. At least Sunny, not power. Is that okay? Are you targeting what? Why are you targeting a little fire base right here? The only thing here is a Fat Boy and T3 mexes. Look at all the shots that are not going anywhere. They either went in the water, they missed. The shielding isn't even down. I feel like that's not very that important. Hey, Cybran doing UEF things. Going for a nice little Novax. And Monkey Lord and Fatty pushing probably way too far into enemy territory. There are some Percys escorting the Monkey Lord, but the Monkey Lord is now dead. The Monkey Lord will herald the death of the Fat Boy here shortly. There is that GC over here that is something to be concerned about for Team 2. All of the defenses are pretty much, 90% of their defenses are here. Fire here, says Sunny. They're trying to really take out this SMD, and that's great for Team 1 to focus fire on something, but that SMD, the SMD's dead up there. Okay, never mind, but there's another SMD there. There's another SMD there. Explosion. SACU dies. Percy's charging in. There's more restorers inbound to deal with that. But, you have backup SMDs. First satellite online, second satellite about to come online, or soon to be online. There's, of course, shielding overlap for the Scathus and the Novaxes. I do like that. You put the shields down the middle, and then you put everything on either side, so it covers 2 things at once. I love that. And then you just continue the pattern of thing, shield, thing, shield. Or even just do thing, like that. Almost looks like a tic-tac-toe board. Scathus shots back onto, looks like Quasar's base. And that second artillery for him is almost done. The one up here to the north for Sunny is also almost done. Team 1's going to have 4 artillery pieces online shortly. Total. And 2 nukes. 2 nukes, yeah. So Team 1 still fighting back. Team 2's betting the farm and everything else on that Scathus, which the longer the game goes on, more shields get built, the harder it is to punch through the shielding with the Scathus. And speaking of punching through shielding, you have a bunch of restorers punching through Fat Boy shielding. And Fat Boy just doing damage to the mountainside there. Or hillside, or whatever you want to call that. That first Fat Boy is dead. And I feel like Team 2, they are going for more, longer range options with the Novaxes, but I feel like they might want to invest in maybe stationary or regular T3 artillery. This little air grid gun here could have been targeted by the artillery, but I feel like they're putting so much emphasis on this SMD right here that it's just a huge distraction for Team 1. Look at this, multiple artillery rounds almost landing simultaneously, and the SMD is still not dead. And that's mainly passive. Just, it's not even a, directed assistance or active assistance. It's all passive. It's because the shielding is built. But the artillery in the middle, Novax counters the Novax. The nuke is also gone. Where'd the nuke go? It was... Oh, it's right there. There it is in front of my face. But kind of a rift in shielding has happened for Quasar's base. Another volley is inbound. Of course, the Novax is going to help keep some of that shielding recharge down. Looks like he's still not targeting the artillery that's exposed. There's a P-gen that can blow up and kill every... Oh, he saw it. He saw it. And there it goes. First artillery is down. Team 1's down to 3. And it's a little bit less firepower raining in. Scathis is now being hit by at least one of the artilleries from Team 1. And there's a lot of shielding here. ED5s, love to see them. ED4s as well, upgrade some of those. This one's being assisted. Oh, of course, all the UEF shielding that's also here. Another Novax is going to be built. Desert Wolf's going to just, litter the skies with Novaxes and call it a day. And 53 minutes on the clock. We see another nuke inbound from Team 1. And it's going. You have to almost go for the everything. The nuke is going to get shot down by that SMD. Can all dead people leave, please? Looks like it's some laggy nonsense happening for the game. So it looks like there's just as much as it's would people like to stay after they die to help out. It just kind of makes the game lag a little bit more. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Ooh, that's a hole that's opened up for Team 2 shielding. Probably should fix that. Looks like the Myculoid took a hit for that. Use your sat desert, says Pinkyful. And oh yeah, desert, not dessert. Oh, he's probably talking about the second one? No? Oh yeah, the second one's inbound now. GG says Quasar. SMD pointed out there. Yeah, the nuke was shot down. And I think it's just going to be the slow just erosion of Quasar's base. And that's half of the artillery and the nukes. Team 1 has a nuke here. It hasn't fired it. No nuke there yet. Another artillery being built right here. So trying to get back up to 4. Assisting the shields. But I think it's a losing game at this point for Team 1. Their territory is slowly being chopped away by land forces. And again, all of the other things, this grid could have been targeted. It's really this and that. All the other things are kind of spread out for the most part. We still have Pinkyful up here to the northeast, still producing fatties, just constantly pumping out some ice cream sandwiches. And he's slowly pushing on that northern side. 54 minutes on the clock, and another Novax is about to finish here shortly. Who is rejecting recall, says Quasar. Looks like there was a recall vote, and Team 1 said no to that. Quasar is out in the open. Is he being hit by Scathis shots? Oh, actually, look at that. He did. That's the second one that he got hit by. Oof. Maybe he's... Oh, and he control Ks. And that is a departure for Team 1. Drops this game to a 3v4 in favor for Team 2 once again. And I think with that, that's going to be the slow... or the start of the demise, or finishing demise for Team 1. And it's not going to make a huge difference at this point for Team 1. The only thing they can hope for is that Scathis just miraculously dies, but shielding is going down, to be fair. So they are starting to punch through the shielding, but is it too little too late? We also see Babel right here hanging out. I thought those were Cerberus. I thought those were Gunthers, but they're Cerberus. SMD being heavily loaded, of course, just to keep sure that's protected. Oh, lots of shielding going on and off, on and off. It might be enough to pierce the shielding. Maybe, maybe not. Another one's going to come online. But again, like I said, even if the Scathis goes down, Team 2 still has the land options up here and over here. And there's a couple down there. And look, there's 2 megawatts from Team 1 suddenly just full sending it. There's a bug going after a GC. Team 1's trying to send everything they have, but Team 2, really the only player that invested in long-range tech was Desert. Everybody else invested in land. So really they could, not necessarily 100% repel forces from Team 1 on land, but they're doing a pretty good job of it. GC is, they still didn't kill off that SMD. Look at all the shielding here. It's going to be a minute for the laser on board the GC to chew through it. And 1 shield gets depleted. That's it. Maybe. Nuke is going to land right in front of those fat boys. Those finally just skate disaster. Kaboom. It slows down the aggression on the land, but it's not going to matter. Oh, please hit your own satellite. I don't think that's going to happen, though. It's shielding around. The artillery is down. The artillery is about to fall. And there goes that. Team 1 is down to 2 of them. Third one about to come online, so they won't get back up to 4. They'll get back up to 3. The GC is dealt with. The 2 megawatts are being dealt with. This one is heavily damaged. We have 3 megawatts. Looks like GG, says Sonny. He might control K here shortly. He's at 1.1K. And forfeit, I think is what... Oh, okay. No, that's FFS. Never mind. I don't know what FS means just by itself. I know what FFS means, but Team 1 recalls at 56 minutes. And they saw the writing on the wall. Team 2 wins the game almost at 57 minutes even, but it's 56. Love to see that. So great game. Team 2 wins it. They recovered from the Scathis loss, built another one right on top of the old one, and said, nope, it is Scathis all day. And I think at Team 1's, not disadvantage, but they probably should have gone for more items or more bigger items, I think, when they killed off the Scathis. The strap armors came in, completely wiped it out. And not only did they wipe it out, they wiped out the eco, like the reclaim from it as well. So it took even more mass to come back, and maybe had Sunny and Quasar kind of come together and built maybe a Mavor, maybe built a YOLO or something together, like a game ender. That would have been enough. I do think maybe the artillery from everybody for Team 1 should have targeted the Scathis immediately. That would have relieved a little bit of that pressure, and then they can refocus back on the land. But if the Scathis was dead right now, Team 2 would still have the Fat Boys. They are being shot at as we speak. They still have the Megaliths and all of those other land experimentals running around. And it would have just been maybe another 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes before it would have been game over anyways. So it is just hard when you're like, oh, I killed off this big thing that's been annoying us. Okay, now what? And I just don't think Team 1 had a trend for now what. The one benefit of building T3 artillery, though, is that you get more use out of it sooner instead of a Scathis where you spend a bunch of mass and energy to build the Scathis, but then it does a lot more damage. But I feel like these should have targeted maybe that sooner, because as we saw, it was weakening the shields. Like, it was actually punching through some of them. So maybe if they targeted it sooner, maybe it would have mattered. But hindsight 2020 whatnot. I do think MVP does go to Desert Wolf. The play with the Scathis did bring the game to an end. Again, everybody else in the game did a very good job with land, but that Scathis, I think, was key. And then, of course, having the satellites, nice little cherry on top. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see all of you in the next one.